kasaysayan, kababalaghan, politika, current events, at iba pa. Huwag magpahuli, ating alamin, tuklasin dito sa Historiador. Filipino. Bago pa man dukutin at bitbitin papuntang New York ang mismong presidente ng Venezuela na si Nicolas Maduro, ay may lamat na rin ang relasyon ni Donald Trump sa presidente ng bansang Colombia na si Gustavo Petro. Tinawag ni Trump ang bansang Colombia na leader ng narco-trafficking at sinabing hindi sapat ang aksyon ni Petro laban sa mga kartel ng droga. Tinapos ni Trump ang US financial aid sa Colombia para sa kontra-droga dahil di umano ay hindi epektibo ang kampanya nito. May mga pahayag din si Trump na tila ang Colombia ay umangal laban sa mga aksyon ng US drone strikes na target di umano ay drug vessels sa Caribbean at tinawag itong paglabag sa kanilang soberenya. Kaya nagdulot ito ng diplomatic conflict at pagreklamo mula sa Colombia. Tinawag ni Petro ang mga akusasyon ni Trump bilang walang patayan at pandarahas sa imahe niya at sa Colombia. Ayon sa kanya, ang kanilang gobyerno ay may malaking nasisiwatang mga droga at talagang lumalaban sa gang at mga kartel at hindi isang narco-state. Ang pamahalaan niya ay nagsasabing ang mga pahayag at banta ay isang direktang paglabag sa soberenya ng Colombia at plano nilang dalhin ang isyu sa mga international na forum para sa diplomatikong solusyon. Bilang dating rebelde sa Colombia, kaya hindi katakataka na may matigas na paninindigan itong si Petro. Pinapasinungalingan ito ang akusasyon ng Estados Unidos na ang isa sa malalaking bulto ng ipinagbabawal na bisyo na siyang nagwawasak sa kaisipan ng maraming mga Amerikano ay nagmula sa kanilang bansa. Noon pa man ay kilala na ang notorious ang Colombia sa paggawa ng mga iligal na bisyo. Hindi pa man sumikat ang Mexico noon ay sa kanila naggaling ang kinukonsiderang hari ng iligal na bisyo na si Pablo Escobar. Kaya hindi katakataka na meron talagang mga remnants si Escobar ang patuloy pa rin gumagana sa Colombia. Sa isang speech na ginawa ni Petro ay pinalagan niya ang mga ligasyon ng Amerikano sa kanya.
They have threatened Mexico militarily, which has a part in the Caribbean. I told Trump, brother, you're getting deeply involved with these dangerous drug traffickers. You even pardon them. And yet you're attacking those who could help you. If your real goal was to defeat drug trafficking, who knows the Caribbean better than we do? Who knows Colombia better than Colombians themselves? Those who seize the most without killing anyone? Hundreds of tons of cocaine that Colombia seizes. But that's not the point they're interested in. The point is control. The Caribs sailed the Caribbean Sea. That's why it's called that. South American, which is Santa Marta, Colombia. That's where we talk about these things. That's how humanity has been built. Trump, somewhat smarter than Netanyahu. So now we're in a second scenario after Gaza, the Caribbean. 100 dead, it could be thousands if they unleash the invasion. They tell me that I'm defending a dictatorship. What I defend and want to defend is life in the Caribbean and the people who live in the Caribbean. We've dealt with dictatorships ourselves. We don't need much support for that. If the people want it, they free themselves from dictators, and we certainly have freed ourselves from dictators in the Caribbean. They're not here because they can't leave, or they can leave, but they can't come back. Like a new political subject. Beyond and more powerful than nations with fewer deaths, but it continues, and the explosiveness that could happen there is at risk of a desperate move for peace. They just seized the ship. It's piracy, a tanker, it's oil. In other words, they're showing why they're doing what they do. Oil, oil, and oil. But oil is about to die as a driver of economic development for nations. So we have to consider a different kind of development. What should we do? We can't have the same military power, we can't have the same financial power, but we can have other kinds of power. This is the beginning, coming together. That's why I hope we can hold a summit of all the peoples of the Caribbean to rise up on April 9th precisely, peoples without breaking the balance of life of the... Thank you, very kind of you.
Larong papalag si Petro sakaling tatargetin ng Estados Unidos ang kanyang pamumuno, kagaya kay Maduro na dati nang hinamon si Trump na kuhanin siya pero hindi naging maganda ang kinalabasan nito.
Venga por mí!
Last night, on the order of the President of the United States,
Aquí lo esperan Miraflores!
and in support of a request from the Department of Justice,
No se tarde en llegar!
the United States military conducted an apprehension mission in Caracas, Venezuela, to bring to justice two indicted persons, Nicolas and Cecilia Maduro.
¡Cobarde!
Nicolas Maduro had his chance until he didn't. He effed around and he found out.
This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history.
Like, I don't understand yet how they haven't figured this out. And now, if you don't know, now you know. Because this is the way it's going to play out. And I think people need to understand that this is not a president that just talks and does letters and press conferences. And, you know, if he says he's serious about something, he means it. But don't play games. Don't play games with this president's in office because it's not going to turn out well.
Kagaya ng mga naunang babala ni Donald Trump kay Maduro bago ito madukot at dinala sa Estados Unidos, si Gustavo Petro ay may dapat ring pagkatandaan sa mga babala ni Donald Trump.
Mr. President, Colombian President Gustavo Petro, a couple weeks ago, you said he's got to watch his ass. And today he said he's not concerned about anything happening to him in the aftermath of this operation. So just what your message is.
He does have to watch his ass.
Marami ang hindi pabor sa ginawa ni Donald Trump pero patuloy nitong pinaninindigan ang mga ginawa ng mga taong naging target ng military action nila ay ang mga taong nagbibigay problema sa Estados Unidos. Rason para solusyonan nila ito. Paldong-paldong Estados Unidos sa desisyon nilang dukutin si Maduro dahil una, napaharap nila ito sa mga kasalanang inaakusan nila. Pangalawa, nasa kontrol na ngayon ng Estados Unidos ang oil reserve ng Venezuela. Sila na ang magdidesisyon at magpapatakbo nito.
Said that the U.S. is going to run Venezuela. So who's in power right now?
Well, we're going to be running it with a group, and we're going to make sure it's run properly. We're going to rebuild the oil infrastructure, which will cost billions of dollars. It'll be paid for by the oil companies directly. They will be reimbursed for what they're doing, but that's going to be paid. And we're going to get the oil flowing the way it should be. As you know, it was just a minor flow. It was actually a minor flow for what they have. But we're going to run it properly, and we're going to make sure the people of Venezuela are taken care of. We're going to make sure the people that were forced out of Venezuela by this thug are also taken care of.
Iba talaga ang makakayang gawin ng makapangyarihang bansa. Maliban sa kaya nitong magpatupad ng agarang hustisya, ay hindi pa ito kayang alipustahin ng kahit na anumang bansa. Sana lang ay huwag magmalapis ang Estados Unidos sa kanilang kapangyarihan hanggang sa sila'y kamuhian na ng halos lahat pag wala na sa ayos ang kanilang mga planong gawin. Ikaw, sa tingin mo ba'y nasa tamang desisyon ang mga ginagawa at gagawin pa ng Estados Unidos? Kung gusto nyo ng mga ganitong klaseng videos, panoorin, pindutin ang notification bell, mag-subscribe at i-share sa mga kaibigan. Maraming salamat po. Hanggang sa susunod dito sa Historiador Filipino.